Welcome to Card Corner. These are the cards. That's the corner. Today I got these Hollywood Premiere Set official Hollywood Walk of Fame trading cards. I decided to go in with Milo over at the Trading Cards channel on this box of Hollywood trading cards. Got several packs. Just going to open two for you guys today. I think that there's some pretty interesting stuff in here. I think that I saw like Vincent Price is in here. I think Clint Eastwood I think I saw in here. There was a bunch of different guys. So thought it would be interesting to open it up and see who we get. This one is from back in the day, 1992. The Hollywood Chamber of Commerce. I like watching old movies, so that's cool. All right, first up we get Gene Kelly. Gene Kelly. He was he's a dancer, singer, director, actor, choreographer. Kelly does it all. He starred in the 1952 musical classic Singin' in the Rain. His solo song and dance number to the title song is considered one of the greatest musicals ever. His other work includes For Me and My Gal, Anchors Away, for which he received a Best Actor nomination, Ziegfeld Follies, and Brigadoon. I've only seen Singin' in the Rain. But at least I know who this guy is. I feel like there's going to be a lot that I don't know. But I do know Orson Welles. That's a sweet hit, I gotta say. When I grew up, I used to watch, when I was growing up, I used to watch a lot of Animaniacs, and Pinky and the Brain especially was one of my favorites. And the Brain is modeled after his sort of iconic voice, which is very cool. Pretty happy to get a Orson Welles card in my first pack. His debut film, Citizen Kane, which he produced, directed, wrote the screenplay for, and starred in the title role, is considered by many to be the best American film ever made. The film won 1935's Oscar for Best Screenplay. In 1938, Wells, along with his Mercury Players, did a radio broadcast of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds on Halloween night. The broadcast was so real that people tuning in believed the Martians had invaded and fled their homes. Yeah, he caused mass panic with the War of the Worlds because they only said at the start that it was fake. So people would tune in late and then think that it was real. The first starring role for this actor was in the 1950 film Dark City. Who is the actor who went on to star in many epics? Oh, you don't get to know. You got to collect the whole set to do the trivia. Sorry, guys. The side here is kind of in rough shape. It looks like they didn't cut it very well. All right, next up we get Carl Reiner. Recognize the name, but I can't put my finger on what he is in. Started career as a comedy writer, most notably on The Sid Caesar Show in the 1950s. Teamed with Mel Brooks to make the highly successful 2000-Year-Old Man comedy albums. Reiner was the creator of the hit TV series The Dick Van Dyke Show. He was also one of its producers. Reiner directed the films Ever Laughing, the comic Where's Papa, Oh God, and The Jerk. He is the father of actor-director Rob Reiner. I think I've seen The Jerk with Steve Martin, I believe. Carl Reiner. All right, here we get Shirley MacLaine. And we get Dudley Moore on the back. They're making mistakes. Dudley Moore made his movie debut in 1966's The Wrong Box. His performance in Arthur earned him a Best Actor Oscar nomination in 1981. Moore is an accomplished pianist and composer. He's written movie scores and has appeared with the Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra. His other movie credits include Best Defense, Mickey and Maude, Santa Claus the Movie, I've seen that one, Arthur 2 on the Rocks, and Crazy People. That's It's funny, a nice error card there. All right, here we get Neil Sedaka. Not sure who he is. A pop singer-songwriter who started writing music in the 50s. Sedaka wrote Stupid Cupid and Frankie, which were big hits for Connie Francis. In 1958, he signed with RCA to record and write songs for the period 1959 to 63. Only Elvis sold more records. His hit records included The Diary, Bad Girl, Oh Carol, Stairway to Heaven, Calendar Girl, Happy Birthday Sweet 16, Breaking Up Is Hard to Do, and accompanied by his daughter Dara, Should Have Never Let You Go. All right, I do recognize some of those songs. Breaking Up Is Hard to Do. I don't think it's the same Stairway to Heaven, though. Neil Sedaka. Here's Jane Powell, classic actress. Miss Powell made her screen debut at age 15 in 1944's Song of the Road. Further films include Delightfully Dangerous, Holiday in Mexico, The Three Darling Daughters, A Date with Judy, Luxury Liner, Nancy Goes to Rio, 2 Weeks with Love, Royal Wedding, Rich, Young and Pretty, Small Town Girl, Three Sailors and a Girl, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. I've seen the Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. My brother really liked musicals when we were kids for some reason. I was not really super into them, but he would always get us to rent them from the library where we would get our movies. All right, here is Red Buttons. It's a funny name. From 1952 to 1955, Buttons was the host of the comedy variety Red Buttons show. Despite being a comedian, Buttons was cast as Sergeant Joe Kelly in 1957's Sayonara. His dramatic performance won him the Best Supporting Actor Oscar. His other films include Imitation General, The Big Circus, 1, 2, 3, The Longest Day, Hatari, and They Shoot Horses, Don't They? Unfamiliar with this guy? Here is Desi Arnaz. Mrs. Corner always likes to watch this YouTube channel where they like walk through graveyards and they like talk about actors that way by like who's buried here, and then they'll show all the old actors, which I think is a pretty funny format. Best remembered as Ricky Ricardo, husband of Lucy, on and off of the TV screen. Right. Along with Lucy, he formed Desilu Production, a major television production company during 1950s and 60s. Arnaz is the father of actor Desi Arnaz Jr. and actress Lucy Arnaz. Arnaz came to America at age 16. His Latin sound was very popular and led to a part in the 1940s film Too Many Girls. The film co-stars Lucille Ball, and he met during filming. Got a Ricky Ricardo card there. Here is Jacqueline Smith. A lot of these guys, these actors, like I'm not like super intimately familiar with their work, but when they start to name them, I'm more familiar. Best known as Kelly Garrett, one of the Charlie's Angels on the hit TV series from 1976 to 1981. Miss Smith was the only one of the 3 original Angels who remained on the series for its entire run. Miss Smith starred on the series Christine Cromwell from 1989 to 1990. She achieved much success as a star for many TV miniseries. They include Escape from Bogan County, The Users, Night Kill, Jacqueline Bouvier Kennedy, Rage of Angels, The Night They Saved Christmas, George Washington, Florence Nightingale, Rage of Angels, The Story Continues, Windmills of the Gods, The Bourne Identity, and Settle the Score. I do like how this entire set is basically like just like good portraits. All right, and here is Casey Kasem. He was like a radio DJ in a very sort of distinct way of talking. Radio host of Casey's Top 40 and Biggest Hits. He is the youngest person ever inducted into the National Association of Broadcasters Radio Hall of Fame. Casey's Top 40 has been given the Billboard Magazine Radio Award for Best National Top 40 Radio Show in 1989, 1990, and 1991. Kasem is married to actress Jean Kasem. Casey Kasem, pretty funny. All right, and here is Phil Harris. Rugged old guy. Oh, he's a band leader. Band leader of the 30s and 40s who used the song Rose Room as his theme. Harris went into films in the 30s, playing mostly non-musical roles. They included Melody Cruise, Turn Off the Moon, Man About Town, Buck Benny Rides Again, I Love a Band Leader, Here Comes the Groom, The Wild Blue Yonder, The High and the Mighty, Anything Goes, Goodbye Milady, The Wheeler Dealers, and The Patsy. Man, they just list all the films, eh? All right, pretty good first pack. I think my favorite is this Orson Welles card. Although it's like definitely the most damaged, which kind of blows, but what can you do? All right, here's the second pack. All right. Here we got Tito Puente, who I'm most familiar with because of the Who Shot Mr. Burns episode of The Simpsons. He was like, the school got rich, so because they found oil, and then they contracted him to be the music teacher, and then Mr. Burns stole all of the oil, so he was like one of the suspects, and then he sang him a song, and they're like, all right, it can't be you. Multi-talented band leader and timbales player, Puente also plays the vibes, piano, sax, bongos, and conga. His Latin music has kept him popular. Members of his bands reads like a Music Hall of Fame roster. They include Johnny Pacheco, Mongo Santa Maria, Charlie Palmieri, Ray Barretto, Willie Bobo, and Manny Oquendo. I like the Willie Bobo song, Fried Neck Bones and Home Fries. His LP, Tito Puente and his Latin Ensemble on Broadway, won a 1983 Grammy Award. Nice, I like that one. All right, here's another guy I know. It's Gene Roddenberry. He is the creator of Star Trek. Best remembered as the creator of Star Trek. This series aired from 1966 to 1969. The series spawned 6 feature films that have grossed over $40 million and a worldwide following of fans, Trekkies. Roddenberry wrote for such TV shows as Dragnet, The U.S. Steel Hour. He won an Emmy Award as the chief writer for the series Have Gun, Will Travel. During World War II, he won Distinguished Flying Cross for flying his B-17 on 89 bombing missions. Jeez. I was a big fan of the Next Generation. I never really watched the original series that much, but I did go through all the movies and enjoyed them quite a bit. I think that my favorite one was called Undiscovered Country. I think they have to like relocate a bunch of Klingons. It's been a while. All right, here is Kitty Callan, popular vocalist of the big band era who sang with the orchestra of Jan Savitt, Jack Teagarden, Jimmy Dorsey, Harry James, Danny Kaye, and David Rose. Miss Callan had hits with Besame Mucho with Bob Eberly, I'm Beginning to See the Light, 11:60 p.m., I'll Buy That Dream, It's Been a Long, Long Time, Waiting for the Train to Come In, Little Things Mean a Lot, In the Chapel in the Moonlight, I Want You All to Myself, If I Give My Heart to You, and My Coloring Book. It also tells you where you can go to see their star. It's an interesting stat. Make it a little bit useful. Here is Louis Jordan. Nice chiseled jaw there. With good looks and a French accent, Jourdain was odds-on favorite to make it in Hollywood. His first U.S. film was 1948's The Paradine Case. His other films include Letter from an Unknown Woman, The Happy Time, Three Coins in the Fountain, Gigi, and The Octopussy. I've seen that one. On television, Jourdain starred in 1955's Paris Precinct as Police Inspector Beaumont. During World War II, Jourdain and his brother joined the French underground after their father was arrested by the Gestapo. Ooh. All right, here is Maury Amsterdam. I feel like I recognize this guy. Got a very distinct face. Although best remembered as Buddy Sorrell, one of the comedy writers on The Dick Van Dyke Show, Amsterdam has been a fixture on TV since the late 40s. He hosted The Maury Amsterdam Show. He was a regular on the quiz show Keep Talking, Who Said That, Battle of the Ages, Broadway Open House, and Can You Top This? You're just like, what? What do you want? Here is Julius La Rosa. Oh. Phyllis Diller is stuck to the back. A member of Arthur Godfrey's radio and TV shows in the 50s. Hits include Anywhere I Wander and El Kumpari. La Rosa made television history in 1953 when he was fired on the air by Arthur Godfrey. Godfrey, who was highly criticized for the move, claimed that La Rosa had lost his humanity. La Rosa has had success as a disc jockey. He worked on New York's WNEW-AM until 1977. Never heard of him. All right, Phyllis Diller, stuck to the back. Known for her outlandish hairdos and outfits, Miss Diller's TV and credits include The Jack Parr Show, The Pruitts of Southampton, The Beautiful Phyllis Diller Show, and The Gong Show. Her films include Splendor in the Grass, Boy Did I Get the Wrong Number, The Fat Spy, 8 on the Lamb, The Private Navy of Sergeant O'Farrell. Did you hear the one about the traveling sales lady and the adding machine? All right, here's a good one. It's Aretha Franklin. Miss Franklin, the Queen of Soul, has more million-selling records than any woman in record history. The daughter of gospel great, the Rev. C.L. Franklin, has had hits with Respect, I Never Loved a Man, The Way I Love You, Baby I Love You, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, Chain of Fools, Since You've Been Gone, Think, The House That Jack Built, I Say a Little Prayer, and Look the Rainbow. From 1962 through 1983, Miss Franklin had 33 LPs in the top 200. It's pretty good. All right, next up we get James Caan. Rugged tough guy actor who gained star stature in 1971 when he played cancer-stricken Chicago Bear football player Brian Piccolo in Brian's Song. Unforgettable as a mobster, Sonny Corleone in the 1972 classic The Godfather. I've seen that one. His other film credits include Lady in a Cage, Redline 7000, Cinderella Liberty, Fun Lady, The Killer Elite, Rollerball, Chapter 2, Hide in Plain Sight, Thief, seen that one, Alien Nation, seen that one, and Misery, also seen that one. So yeah, it's Sonny Corleone. All right, here we get Dick Clark. He's the guy who does all of he did like late night, or not late night, like New Year's Eve, and they'd like unthaw him once a year to do this that was sort of the running joke on The Simpsons, I guess. Hosted TV's American Bandstand from 1957 to 1987. This show featured teenagers dancing to the latest rock and roll hits. Started career as a radio announcer in Philadelphia. Clark has been nicknamed the world's oldest living teenager. He hosts game shows The Pyramid and The Challengers. He hosts the weekly syndicated radio show Rock, Roll, and Remember. I think I actually have like some Dick Clark American Bandstand card packs that I'm sitting on to open for you guys at some point in the future. All right, here is Greer Garson. An actress, one of Hollywood's finest actresses. Miss Garson received a Best Actress Oscar for her performance in 1942's Miss Miniver. She received 6 other Best Actress nominations in 1939 for Goodbye Mr. Chips, in 1941 for Blossoms in the Dust, in 1943 for Madame Curie, in 1944 for Miss Parkington, in 1945 for The Valley of Decision, and in 1960 for Sunrise at Campobello. On Broadway, Miss Garson appeared as Auntie Mame in 1958. Not really familiar with her work. All right, we got one more card, and is it a banger? It is Cesar Romero, none other than the Joker. I loved it because they'd like paint his face white and just paint over his mustache. Awesome. Played the Latin lover roles in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Former dancer in nightclubs and ballrooms. On TV, played the Joker on the Batman series. Played Peter Storos on TV's Falcon Crest from 1985 to 1987. His film credits include The Cardinal Richelieu, The Little Princess, the Cisco Kid and the Lady, Coney Island, Captain from Castile, The Lost Continent, and Ocean's 11. I think I've seen that. That's the older one. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching me opening these Hollywood cards. I think we definitely got some cards that I will add to my collection. There's definitely some good ones here. We got Aretha Franklin. We got Sonny Corleone. We got Ricky Ricardo. We got Gene Roddenberry. Tito Puente. I definitely want to hang on to him. Orson Welles is probably still my favorite. But let me know in the comments who is your favorite actor / singer, Hollywood Walk of Fame guy. Yeah, we also got this. Which one was it? One of these ones was like a misprint, which is interesting too. Like the video if you had a good time. If you want to trade for any of these cards, the information on how to do that is on the About page of my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see some more card-related nonsense. This has been Card Corner opening the Hollywood Premier Set Official Hollywood Walk of Fame Trading Cards by Starling. Take it easy.